Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rutnika and this is Natural Vibrations. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about acupuncture. For those of you who know that I do a lot of energy work and recently got certified as an NLP and life coach. And while we were going through the certification program, every time we were dealing with certain issues and we were using certain techniques to clear those issues, especially to do with self-love, family issues, things that happened to me in my past, growing up, in my childhood, started getting a very severe pain in my left arm. It started from my chest all the way down to my arm, to a point where I actually thought I was having a heart attack. I mean, because it was so intense. And even though I have done a lot of healing modalities, I even do EFT on myself, etc. I never really felt such a strong pain before. And it started off when I was dealing with certain issues, and then every time I was doing a different process of life coaching, which had nothing to do with anything except the mind and just clearing energy. Sorry, I basically I would start getting this pain. And of course, I can use EFT to figure out what's going on. I can also use NLP to figure out what's going on. But I wanted to try something different, and somebody in my course suggested acupuncture. We have an puncher place called Kapoor Acupuncture in Delhi, and they seem to be one of the biggest. They've treated the Prime Minister of India and whatnot. So I decided to take an appointment with them. I've been through two acupuncture sessions so far, and I, even though I have a lot of tattoos, I'm still quite scared of needles. But it wasn't that bad. The first session was long because I had to wait, and after a little while, they took me to this room where they tested my energy points with this machine that basically noted what my energy is. I'm not sure what that machine was, but it was pretty cool. It gave them a reading from different parts of my body regarding how much stress I had in my body and my energy readings. And they also took a history of my, just generally the various things I do, my issues, and the stuff that I wanted to heal. It turned out that according to that machine, my stress levels were very, very high, which is strange because I meditate, I do various healing modalities, but I think it's also because during the NLP sessions and the coaching sessions, I released a lot of past stuff. So obviously, the it was still there. And what we discussed in class was that because that pain was happening every time I was trying to release something, it was a pain of release because I had so much stored blockages in me, so much stored past energy blocks in me, that was slowly coming out. And and over the few months, I've always had a back pain, and then I've started getting like middle back pain and now the arm. And so, anyway, I just thought it'd be good to get a proper, a different person's perspective, because always like to try different things and see what works and then do all of them. So, after they took all my history and all of that, I went to meet the doctor who checked my back just by pressing on certain points. And I swear to God, I was in so much pain. So he basically told me that I had a lot of stored energy in my lower back, which I've had for like 20 years, even way before I started all of this. And that it was now spreading all the way up my spine and to my arm. And so he felt that acupuncture would definitely help with it. What he did was he used these little teeny tiny needles and he poked them into various strategic points along the meridian, which is basically the meridian system that we use for EFT as well. So in EFT, we tap on the pressure points. Here they use a needle, and they used it at various points in my my hand, my arm, my feet, and then all the way down on my spine. And I lay like that for about 30 minutes, and they had these infrared heat lamps over me as well, which kind of sort of gave this nice warmth and massaging feeling to my back, because that's where the issue was. It's been 2 sessions. I've been advised to take 3 sessions a week for at least a month to actually start seeing an effect. I feel that EFT is faster. I mean, of course, I can do it at myself, but I wanted to give this a try. Though what I have noticed in the last two sessions are that I have been a little bit more emotional, which I guess is a good thing because I'm releasing stuff that was stored. Um, I've been a little bit more irritated. My anxiety levels have started coming back up. So I feel it's all a sort of release. I do feel like my middle back is better. And yesterday I decided to try a life coaching technique on myself because I never really thought, I know it's silly, I do this for a living, but I never really thought about how my lower back pain, when it started. I thought, oh, it just happens before my period and I'll be fine. And I don't know, I just never gave it much attention because I thought there were bigger issues at play till I nearly like thought I was having a heart attack. So I started thinking about when my lower back started. Now it's very hard for me to pinpoint, but asking people at home, they did tell me that I started like, because I used like a hot water bottle just for like heat therapy on my back. They did tell me that a lot of it, I started to do more of that after I broke up with a very abusive ex. And after that, it sort of increased. And I realized that even though I've done a lot of healing, and this is not my twin flame, I've done a lot of healing around that, a lot of healing around family issues. I realized that maybe I hadn't, I mean, even though I became very strong after that abusive relationship, and I got, became the strong, independent woman, I sort of like, I'm not going to take shit from anybody. I felt like maybe I hadn't like totally dealt with those emotions, and maybe I'd held on to a lot of that hurt inside because in order to protect yourself, to get out of an abusive relationship, you need to build walls around you and be really strong. So I did a process yesterday to sort of release some of that emotion as well, because I know even though acupuncture is being used, I would like to tackle those emotions myself through the tools that I have access to. And I do feel much better. Like, it's only been two sessions, but my middle back pain is pretty much gone. I don't really have the middle back pain. Yesterday, when I was working through those issues of pain and hurt, my arm did not act up, which was happening before when I was dealing with issues of hurt and pain and lack of love and etc. My entire arm was like acting up. That did not happen. I still have some lower back pain, but it did get better. I mean, it has, but let's be honest, it's been there for years, so it's not gonna disappear overnight. But I do feel better. I was playing the ukulele yesterday, so I think that also kind of made my back a little worse. But so far, I think acupuncture is helping, though I do believe it's important to use it with other tools. Um, I feel EFT might be faster because acupuncture you have got to do for like a month and everything. I think that if I had used EFT tools for the same issues, I probably would get results faster and it would be a little less like invasive, even though it doesn't really hurt. The needles don't really hurt, it just feels like a little pinch when it goes in, but they don't hurt after that. So, it's not that bad. But it does feel nice when you're lying in the sun lamp. But I have been feel like I've been eating a lot more, and I am an emotional eater, so I do feel it is releasing and it is working. But if you guys do try acupuncture, I would definitely say it's important to sort of figure out what your issues are. Of course, there's physical issues, but also figure out what your triggers are and what really got you to this point, which is where other tools come into play, like life coaching, EFT, NLP, etc. Or just generally having a moment to sit down and figure out when something started and what else was going on beneath it, because obviously every physical symptom is an emotional or energetic anchor to it, an emotional energetic point to it, and once you clear that, the physical symptoms go away. This even means cancer and stuff. I just finished reading a beautiful book, I don't have it here with me, a beautiful book called The Journey by Brandon Bayes, and it talks about the same thing that I've been sprouting all this time, that if once you clear your emotional blockages that you've been holding on inside your body, she healed a huge tumor the size of a basketball in her stomach, so, or in her uterus. So the point is, all physical symptoms are a manifestation of our emotional blocks and our issues. So it's very important for us to clear that. I do think I'm going to give acupuncture a proper try. It is expensive though, probably as much as EFT or NLP and stuff like that. So, but it is an investment like anything else. I was just thinking the other day, when I start charging people, and I've been charging people for some of my services, and I'm going to be offering more, there is a minimum that we've been told that we have to charge because that's an international standard. And when you look at that, you're like, oh my God, that's so expensive. Why would anybody want to pay me that? And then I realized that that was a negative block in my head because let's be honest, we spend a lot of money on a lot of crap we don't need. I know I spend money on massages because that's something I love. We get a facial, we get a haircut, we go shopping, we go to nice dinners. We like to spend money on a lot of our external stuff, but a lot of us feel hesitant about spending money when it comes to our internal, I guess you could use beauty, but our internal healing. And yes, we do end up spending money for shrinks, which is great, but then we get surprised when when we have to pay the same amount for a holistic treatment. But guess what? It's the same thing. We're working on the soul level, and of course, it's gonna be expensive. But I do believe that uh, we are only off. That once we put ourselves as a priority, everything works out. So I'm going to give this a try. This was a little recap on letting you guys know what acupuncture was all about. I do believe it is worth a try if you're suffering from issues like smoking, etc. But if you do get scared around needles, then you can try EFT first because it's the same principle. It just uses tapping on pressure points and not needles. Um, if you are doing acupuncture, I would definitely say recommend you trying to figure out other things as well at the same time. So acupuncture can be worthwhile because a lot of stuff may come up, and if you don't acknowledge that and you don't figure out how to deal with those emotional crap that comes up, it might sort of not help you in the long run. So it's very important to identify the emotions that are coming up and why they're coming up. Okay, so anyway, I hope this was helpful. I'm going to try to do some more reviews of things, and my next video, I think I'm going to talk about more about law of attraction and manifesting. So stay tuned for that. Take care. Bye.